Hello, everybody, and welcome to our first episode of Gilded Destinies, a show set in the world of Eberron. Here with me today, I have 5 wonderful players, and we're very excited to get this story going for you. Let's go around the table and just give everybody our names quick and the name of our characters. Let's start with you, Huli.
Hello, friends. I am Huli. You know this, but you know it again. And I will be playing Kokola Kundarak, a dwarf rogue fighter multi-class. But I'm not your typical kind of. I'm not that kind of rogue.
She's not that kind of rogue. She swears.
I swear. I'm not. But yeah, that's it. That's me.
Alrighty, let's move on down the line here. Don.
I am Don. I'm playing Zenlin, the dark elf sorcerer. He is that sorcerer. He is also ailing. And that's kind of him.
All right, and down the line to you, Shen.
I'm Shen, and I am playing Jillian Rilka, and she is a peace cleric. And she's a halfling.
Wonderful. And Jason?
I'm Jason. I'm playing Jelly Porter, a halfling bard. Not that kind of bard. Or maybe. I don't know. What are you trying to say about bards? What
All
do
right.
you mean by that kind of bard?
Last but certainly not least, we've got Duke.
Hey, my name is Duke. I am playing Resnar Greyback, Shifter Barbarian, and I am that type of barbarian.
All right. Let's go ahead and get started here. As we move across the plains and fields of the continent of Corvair.
You went muted on us, buddy. So you're talking. I could see your lips, but I hear nothing.
Wonderful. All right, we are coming down the rivers of Eberron, heading towards the region of the Hilt, into the city of Sharn, where, wandering the docks, we find Zenlin and Resnor. Zenlin, you're here with a letter in hand that's led you to this city and this new continent for the first time.
Yeah, I feel like he is in awe. Sharn is kind of crazy considering where he's from. So he is probably like just trying to take as much of it in as possible. And get adjusted to it.
Yeah, you see massive spires reaching and piercing the clouds, towers that have so many levels you're unable to count them. People in the streets hawking magical wares and screaming out with music playing from every corner. Great puffs of steam coming out of every building and smoke covering the horizon. Resnor, you're here with your dear friend Zenlin. What is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Resnar would be definitely looking for some food after the journey. He's not used to the city, but he's seen cities, so.
Yeah, and you've definitely passed through Sharn before on your way down to Zendrick, so it's not an unfamiliar sight. You know where a couple of taverns are where you could go get some food.
Resnar is definitely. I need to get some food in me. I don't know about you.
That sounds great. This was definitely the first place to start.
Yes, I feel like this is a very good place to start doing this. And he's going to start walking off in the direction of a tavern.
Yeah, so here by the dockyard, you know that the most moderately priced tavern would be the Dagger's Edge.
I know this great tavern. And he's going to start heading towards the Dagger's Edge. We're going to get some meat on your bones before the end of the day.
I don't know if that's gonna work. And Zenlin's gonna make sure his hood is pulled up as he's trying to not be in the sun.
Yeah. All right, you all are heading off to the Dagger's Edge to get a bite to eat. As you walk in, it's much quieter in this tavern than it is outside in the city. There's not the raucousness of hundreds of thousands of people moving around through multiple levels. There's none of that music playing. And it seems, honestly, fairly calm. It's about 2 in the afternoon. There's a couple of people here having a drink and a midday meal, but it's not crowded. And the bartender sees you walk in and waves you over. You here for a meal, a drink, or a meeting?
Reservoir walk up. Here for a meal and a drink.
Meal and a drink. That's wonderful. You can sit at that table over there, and I'll have someone over to take care of you shortly.
Reservoir's going to head over and sit down.
Zenlin will follow and pull up a chair.
All right. You see about 2 or 3 minutes pass, and a gust of air blows from under your table, forming into a smoke method that peers at both of you. What can I get you to drink?
Oh, that's just marvelous. What do you have?
We've got ales, wines, a bit of whiskey, some fresh pressed juices.
I think a nice
That's
wine
right.
would be nice.
Yes, it's a wonderful wine for you and for your friend.
How much is the whiskey?
Oh, only 3 silver pieces for a bottle.
I'm gonna take a whiskey. And what kind of food you got here?
Well, for luncheon we have a stew and some bread.
I'll take 2 of those.
2 stews? Wonderful.
I'll take a stew too.
Oh, 3 stews then. Wonderful. 3 stews, a wine, and a whiskey. And you see the smoke disperses and flies in 3 different directions, reassembling into 3 smaller smoke imps, and grabbing a glass of whiskey at one, a bottle of wine and a glass at another, and flying back into the kitchen with the 3rd. Coming back to your table. Do you want me to leave the bottles, sir?
No, just the glass will be fine. Thank you.
Wonderful. That will be 2 silver pieces.
Here, keep it, and Zenlin will just hand over a gold. That's for
Great.
both of us.
Ah, you're buying the whole meal. So sweet of you. Are you compatriots?
Of a sort.
Ah, good for you. Good for you. And it flies back under. It flies back under your table to wait for the next part of your order. We're going to go ahead and move our way across the city into the halls of House Kundarak here, where we find Kokola in the entry hall with newly packed bags, having just been told that she is no longer working in the House Kundarak. As you prepare to lift your bags and leave your home of so many years, you find that tied to the top of them is a small note.
I think I'll go outside before I read the note.
Wonderful. So how much stuff does Coca-Cola have, by the way? Is she minimalist? She got 3 different suitcases in each hand?
I would say probably 2 bags at least. One full of everyday mundane items, given that she's leaving home, and another one containing things pertinent to her profession, right? So all of her work gear and stuff. So probably about 2 bags worth of things. Nothing too over the top. She's not materialistic in any way but gold, because money rules everything. But yeah, that's it. Probably about 2 bags.
Yeah, you take your bags and you, for what may be the last time, step outside of the halls of House Kundarak here in Sharn. Find yourself in the city streets. You're in one of the much nicer districts of Sharn, up on the 4th level, and you can smell the heat of all the forges around you. You can feel the wind blowing through these tall towers with golden walkways connecting each of them. And you still see this note there. Do you want to open it now, or do you want to find somewhere to settle first?
Let's go with priorities. Let me get a place to settle before reading any, notes from home. I haven't even barely made it out the door yet, and my mother's already worried about me. I probably could get down to an inn or tavern or something.
Yeah. Cocola's lived in this city for a good portion of her life. Go ahead and just give me a intelligence or wisdom check with advantage, your preference.
Flat whiz or intelligence?
Flat wisdom or intelligence check, but at advantage.
Yeah, all right.
If you've got a skill you want to argue for, then feel free.
Yes and no. I'm more curious on if it's like a perception wisdom or like a intelligence investigation sort of.
It's more of just sort of racking your brain for what might be a good place for you to go stay at long term, since you're now homeless.
That's not what I wanted, but thank you, computer. All right, sure. Let's do that.
I'm sorry, what was that?
18. Let me change those dice because that's obnoxious.
18, that's great. Yeah, there's a couple of boarding houses down on the 2nd level that, are fairly cheap long term. There's some by the docks as well that are more intended for sailors and the like. And then there's a couple that you've done some work on, actually. And your house has done the warding work on, where the rooms are all individually sealed, and it's very private. It's a very private space. It'd be a good place to leave your work gear if you didn't want to keep lugging it around with you.
Yeah, I think that would be what I would do. One of the places that I'm more familiar with because of doing work there. I think that's what I would do.
Yeah. Then you're welcome to head on down to the Dagger's Edge or the Dragon's Breath. Would be the 2 that you've worked on personally.
Ooh. I have a really long personal history as a player with dragons, so I'm going to go with the other one. Let's go with the Dagger's Edge.
All right. Yeah, you start making your way down from this 4th level of the city to the 1st at the docks to the Dagger's Edge. It's it's not a short journey. None of these towers have like an elevator or set of stairs that goes straight down. You're zigzagging across the city trying to make your way down. You go down one level, have to go 500 yards in another direction to get to the next set of stairs. Then there's a lift that will take you down, but first it goes up 3 levels. It's the construction in Sharn does not seem to be ease oriented. It's very aesthetic, though.
Aesthetically pleasing, tiny dwarf leg walking annoying. Got it.
Yes, exactly. But
Okay.
you do make your way down to the docks, and you walk walk up to the Dagger's Edge, and you see your little personal mark of work there at the edge of the door frame, showing that you're one of the dwarves who worked on warding this place.
I'm gonna stop and stare proudly for a moment. Ace. And then I'm gonna go inside.
All right, you head inside. Zenlin and Reznor, at this point, you've gotten your bowls of stew. They're very average. It's not the best stew you've had in your life. Well, maybe for you it is, Zenlin.
Yeah.
It might be one of the best beef stews you've had in your life. Reznor, it's all right. Plenty of potatoes, plenty of carrots. Not quite enough beef, but that's why you got 2 bowls, right?
Exactly.
All right. And you walk on in, Coca-Cola. You see amongst the scattered patrons, there's someone with a hood pulled over their face, leaning down to eat from a bowl of stew with a glass of wine by their side. You see Reznor here. Reznor, what form are you currently in?
I'm in non-shifted.
Okay. Yeah, you see a man wearing furs and leathers, who's, I'm assuming, greedily gulping away at their stew.
Yeah, he is going at it right now.
You see the bartender, who looks to be made of sandstone. And you see a few smoke methods flying around the room to other patrons, who appear to be at tables that are a bit more tucked back. They're a little bit harder to make out than these 2 who are front and center.
Okay. I think my first plan of action is going to be I'd like to speak to the tavern keep to get a room secured so I can not look like a traveler in the city that I grew up in.
Yeah, you walk on up to the tavern keeper, and you recognize them actually from when you did the work here. This is Drew, the Dow Tavern Keep.
Okay. Hey, buddy, friendo pal, how's it going? Long time no see. I'd like to get a room, please.
He takes a second to peer down at you. Oh, it's Cola?
Coca-Cola, yeah.
Yes. Coca-Cola.
Yep.
It's
Something
been
like
some time. You need a room, you said?
Yeah.
All full up there at the Kundarak complex, huh? Yeah, it's how long do you need it for?
Let me just start simple with 2 nights.
2 nights? You know what? For the work you did, the first night's free. Second night will only be a couple of copper. You get a discount. You did great work. I had someone try to break in the other day, and the wards, they sprang to life, and I can't even describe what they did.
Well,
But he didn't look, I'll tell you what, he didn't look like a man no more after they got him.
good. That means they're functioning properly, and I'll just pat myself on the back. Just a couple of copper, you said. Oh, I do enjoy a discount. Let's make it 3 nights.
3 nights? All right, I'll just take a silver then, I guess.
Sure. Pay silver.
If you want to throw an extra one in there, I'll take care of your meals for the week too.
And you're going to cook for me? Oh, my mom's never even going to expect this. All right, yeah.
Oh, how is your mother? I know she hasn't. She was supposed to send someone to check up on the wards a couple of weeks ago, but we hadn't really heard anything. And I mean, they're still functioning clearly, but we'd like our maintenance done even if we don't need it.
Well, she's been really, really busy. We've got some new contracts and things that came in. If it's no issue, I'll check them out while I'm here.
Oh, I mean, if you're willing to check the wards, I mean, how what charge? Just the usual.
I would give you an IOU for whenever I decide what I want to charge you for another day. Maybe it'll be a favor, or maybe I'll be laying in the middle of the street extremely drunk sometime and I'll need somebody to carry me back to my room. We'll talk about it.
Oh. Yeah, we can do an IOU. Yeah, but it's good to see you, Coca-Cola. Yeah, here. Do you want a first floor room or a second floor?
Ooh, I do like to watch things.
No windows on the first floor, though. Well,
Second.
you know that. You know that. You warded them.
Yep, second floor.
All right. And he reaches back and grabs a key that looks like it's made of the same sandstone as he is. Well, you know how it works. Just press it up against the door and you're good to go.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Yeah, and you walk over to the side of the dagger's edge here, and you walk up to a door. There's only one singular door for the rooms. So you press your key against it, and you see the door shift so that instead of wood, it is made of that sandstone. Open it and find yourself immediately on the second floor in your room.
I always did find this place a little extra fanciful.
There's a comfortable little bed here, perfectly sized for you. A wide window that stretches the length and width of the outer wall, and a little chest of drawers where you could probably pack about half of your clothes away.
Yeah, I don't think I really brought too much in the way of clothes. It looks like everything should be just fine. And my suitcases are built for me. So whenever I open them, it's like 1999 caboodle and just pops out. And all of my gear is just right there. So it works.
Wonderful. All right. Let's move on over to Jillian as you get settled in here, Coca-Cola. Jillian, let's talk a little bit about why you're here in this city of Sharn. I know that you're a peace cleric. You're here, I'm assuming, with a mission of peace.
Jillian is here to help out with an expansion on a clinic that there is in the lower levels.
Oh, wonderful. So we move our way down to the sub-levels of Sharn, where things aren't quite as bright. It's dark gloom everywhere. It's still just as noisy and raucous, but the sounds aren't those of music playing and people trading. There's arguments happening around every corner. People crying in their houses. What passes for a house down here? And then we move through to a single building built of white stone with covered in grime, but a feeling of peace and happiness still manages to shine forth from this place. We come in and we see Jillian. You're sitting here treating a young halfling patient, probably about 8 or 9 years old, who's come in with a horrible cough in their lungs and wheeze. Please, ma'am, can you do something? Just a bit of medicine or anything. It's just, I have to get back to work, and well, they don't much like it in the uppers when you're ill.
Jillian would summon one of the nurses to come over, and she asks her for a bowl that's got some herbs in it, and it's steaming. And she hands it to him, and he's like, "Okay, now you just put your face over it and suck in."
Yeah, go ahead and just give me a medicine check with advantage.
Let's check with advantage. Got a 21.
21? Wonderful. Yeah, he leans down and puts his face over the bowl, makes a deep inhalation, and there's instantly a visible difference. A bit of gray fades from his face with color coming back in, those bright rosy cheeks that halflings are known for, and you can hear his breathing, while not entirely fixed, is much improved already. You're a miracle worker, ma'am. How much do we owe you? I don't have much, but, I'm sure the herbs aren't free. And, I've got... and he reaches in his pocket and pulls out a small bag of coins, counts them out. I've got 8 copper to spare once the rent's paid this month.
She will say, "Go to the front desk, and they've got a sliding scale for you, and they'll handle the bill. I just do this part."
Oh, but okay, yes, ma'am, of course. Thank you. You're a blessing. You truly are. By which god should I pray for you?
The sovereign host, whatever God speaks to you. I'm a worshiper of the sovereign host, so just.
Well, I'll say a prayer to them for you. Thank you. You're a blessing. And he pops up off the table. It's a bit of a drop for him, and just sort of walks out. Goes up to the front desk, and you can hear him. I've only got 8 copper. What do you mean it's going to be 2 silver? I've only got 8 copper. Can you send a bill? All right. And opens the door and leaves. One of the receptionists walks back to your little office here. Jillian?
Yes.
You know that I know we're doing this for charity and all, but we need the money to keep the place running. You can't keep giving away herbs to people can't afford the bit that we need to keep going. It's gonna have to come out of your pocket, eventually. The boss, he's a generous man. He's a generous man, but there's only so far generosity gets you.
Our house has so much money,
Yeah, but charity and generosity, If you give away too much, you don't have any left to give away in the future. That's what the boss always says.
All right. She'll grab 2 silver and here, take it.
And as you do, she looks at you and she says, "All right." And one last thing, Jillian, I hate to say it, but you're being suspended without pay. It's only going to be a month. It's only going to be a month, and then you're welcome to come back, Jillian. And you can work on a volunteer basis still. You're allowed to do that. But you know that it's not going to work out if you keep doing this. I know you're a good soul, Jillian, but
I get it. Oh, you know what?
this doesn't come from me. If it was up to me, I'd keep you here and I wouldn't make you pay, but well, I don't make the decisions.
I know how it is in the house. It's just there's so many sick people.
Well, and she motions to you to lean in. Someone stopped by and dropped this off for you earlier. I didn't mention it because we didn't want to lose you, but since you're not going to be here anyway, it's a bit of a job offer.
Let me
And
see.
then you could maybe use that money to pay for people's medical treatments. You know? Have the money to be as generous as you like.
Yeah, let me see it. Sure. Oh, she'll take the piece of paper.
She hands you a little note, and when you open it up, it says, Jillian Rilke, you are cordially invited to opening day at the Bruxhaven Trading Company, an independent company where we will be shipping all sorts of goods. Please, if you are able or interested, meet us on the 3rd level of Sharn.
Okay. All right. She'll take the paper and she'll clear the things out of her desk, I guess, if she's got a desk there. And she'll say, well, I'll see you guys later.
We hope you come back, Jillian. We really do. You're so kind, and the patients love you. And you know, I'll talk to the boss. I'll see if I can get that suspension reduced for you too. Because you really don't deserve it. You do pay when you need. You do pay when you need to, but you know, if people think that our services are free, they're going to keep coming and expecting it.
I know. She'll just walk out the door and slam it pretty hard.
If you want, go ahead and give me a strength check just to see how dramatic this slam is. It's going to be hard no matter what.
I guess athletics,
Sure, athletics works.
13.
Yeah, it's definitely harder than the average door slam. You slam this door behind you, and little pieces of the grime fall off of the building around you. None land on you, and you turn back, and the building's actually looks a little cleaner, just a bit. But yeah, are you heading up to check out this job offer? Do you have something else you want to do first?
She's gonna I think she's gonna go check out the job offer.
All right. Yeah, you are heading up to the 3rd level of Sharn. So you're going up about 5 levels here. And coming from the Undercity into the main city, it's going to take you probably about an hour or two worth of travel. So while you are doing that, we're going to cut over to the final member of our party, Jolly Porter. Jolly, you've just been called into your boss's office as well. Um, you have a strong feeling you know why. On your last trip on your train, there was a customer who just absolutely berated every member of the staff. Expected you guys to store their luggage in the dining car for them, set up a bed in the engine in the cab of the engine, and didn't tip at all. Why don't you go ahead and tell me what your response to that was?
Well, I've been doing this a long time. I'm all about customer service. Never say no. Of course, the customer's always right. You get a feel for when someone's really just going to abuse your team, and I take care of my team. I make sure I take care of my team, and they got to stay motivated to give the best customer service possible. So how do you do that when someone's just clearly from the moment you get there and you see them with their bags, so many heavy bags, and the look on their face. So, if they really need to spend some time up in the cab, that's fine. I'll make sure that happens. And if their bags experience a light rifling while they're up there with me, we can't watch everything. We just can't watch everything. And if I were to send word ahead that maybe some rich clients were maybe getting off en route, and something were to befall them later on, these things happen. These are just part of things that happen. So, I'm assuming they wrote a bad review, I guess.
Yeah, what you didn't realize about this last rich customer is that they weren't just rich, they have a lot of personal power within your company.
Well, it's a good thing I'm in a union. I'm 2 months away from being fully vested in my retirement.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. So your boss calls you in to come for a meeting, and you think, you've had a couple of light reprimands before, but nothing really happens. You've been here so long. I mean, you practically founded the union here.
I started off as a conductor stone shiner. I don't know if you know that. 6 years old. Yeah. Yeah, worked my way up to shine the dragon shard, and then I made friends with the elemental on the train. You know how you climb the ladder.
But so you walk into your boss's office, and he's sitting there, and your union rep is already in the room. Jolly, your boss says. He's a beefy dwarven man, long brown beard, shaved head. Got a couple of metal bracers on, etched with runes, and that go up and cover his entire forearm. Jolly, we've it's been real good having you here at the company for so long. You're an amazing conductor. Even back when you were just shining stones, you were one of the best people in the business. And I really hate to tell you this, but we've had some complaints. And yes, please, Shirley.
Yeah, I've got 2 months before my retirement.
Yeah, we know. That's why we want to make sure everything's by the book here. As a customer, what says you went through her bags and stole...
I've never gone through anyone's bags.
Stole quite a bit of goods.
I was with that customer the entire time.
Well, it's your train, and it's
I can't watch
Jolly.
everything.
Jolly. Jolly, it's
I got
it's
2
100.
months.
It's 100 platinums worth of goods.
I can't confirm that. 102, but I can't confirm it.
Look, we're gonna make you an offer, Jolly. You leave real quiet like, and we'll give you a full year of severance pay. And we won't call the guards, and we won't open an investigation.
But I still need my 2 months though to get my full retirement pension.
Jolly, do you know what at-will employment is?
That's why we have a union. I look at my union rep. What are you doing?
Your union rep just shakes his head.
I've been paying dues for 29 years and 10 months since I was 6 years old. I'm 35. What am I supposed to do?
Jolly, you're supposed to take it real quiet like and just take the money, Jolly. It's what's best for you. It's what's best for everyone here. There's no trouble that way. And, your boss motions to you to lean in and away from where the union rep can hear you. I got a buddy starting up a new venture that I think you'd be great for. It's good work. It's honest work. You'd be a founding member of the company. They couldn't fire you because you're an owner-operator.
Okay. And I'd be able to treat people well?
You'd be able to treat people however you wanted to. You own the place if you take the job.
I want to treat people well. That's what I do.
I know, Jolly, I know. You've got the happiest crew of any of our rails.
Yes.
And it's good. I'm sorry to see you go. I came up underneath you,
I know.
When you got the conductor promotion, I was the one who took your place shining the stones. And I don't like doing it, Jolly. I don't like having to let you go, but
I taught you everything I know.
you taught me everything you know, but that
Yes,
doesn't mean you taught me everything I know.
That's true, because I didn't want that job. I was happy as a conductor, giving good customer service. You're telling me I don't have any choice.
I'm telling you, you got two choices. You got a year of severance, or you got nothing and a chance at the guards investigating you.
I'm gonna take the severance. And then I turn and I look at the union rep and I say, if I ever in my life see you out on the street, you better have 6 people with you. And then I shake the boss's hand and I say, you're doing the right thing for your company. But you know how this game works. This is how we get good customer service.
I know,
I look
Jolly.
back at the rep and I'm like, watch your back. And I leave.
All right. And as you shake your boss's hand, he passes you a scroll with the contact information of his buddy starting up the new venture. And when you open it up, whether you open it up now or later, you see that it reads very similarly to the one Jillian had, with the small modification that it's addressed to your boss.
Okay. All right. I follow it. Don't let me catch that union.
All right. You head on. Oh, you're following the union rep?
No, don't let me catch him.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna take every
Oh,
bit of
don't
this
let you
dude.
catch him.
Yeah. It's 29 years of
Take
dues
those kneecaps.
for nothing. All right.
All right.
2 months.
So yeah, you head off out of the offices here. They're back here behind the train yard, and you walk past and see your train, which just last year had a renaming ceremony and was named Jolly's Jingle.
It's it's said, I do go and say goodbye to the elemental, and we've gone we've gone all the way to Vatheron, to Sharn. We've done it all, haven't we, buddy? And
Burbles up at you in primordial through the crystal.
just keep it going. Keep it running on time, buddy. Keep it running on time.
And you peer through this multifaceted crystal, and you can see just the energy coalesce into a solid form. And do you speak primordial by chance?
I do.
Yeah, it's who runs the train? Jolly, no. Jolly, no.
Yeah, I don't know who, but I will tell you, if that union rep gets on here, shock his ass. Just shock him. I'm not saying kill him, just a little shock. Leave him with 1 hit point.
Jolly, I'll crash the train if he gets on.
Don't crash the train.
I'll crash the goddamn train.
The train's gotta run. The train has gotta run, buddy. It's gotta run. It's gotta run on time. But that guy, just give him a little shock. It will chalk it up to static electricity.
All right. Just a little shock.
Make it just not fun for him to be on this train. I had 2 months left. 2 months, buddy.
I know, Jolly. I know. And it goes back to just the primordial burbling. It's not really saying anything, but it's just kind of. It's very sad to see you go. Like it's known you for years. It's a dear friend.
Been through a lot. We've been from Sharn to Vatheron.
Yeah. Yeah, you head off of your train here. Do you know it's your train is scheduled to leave in about an hour or so? You gonna stick around and watch it head out on one last journey without?
Too emotional for me. I'm just gonna head out.
Yeah. So you head off into the city. All right. Let's go ahead and cut back to our group at the Dagger's Edge here. Zenlin and Reznor, you've about finished your meals. The method has come back up. Would you like refills on anything?
I don't know. This was very nice. What about you, Resno?
I'd like another stew, please.
Wonderful. And it grabs both of your bowls. Do you want me to refill both or just the one stew for you?
If you're going to do one, might as well do them both.
Of course. Yes.
No, I mean, we came here looking for a job, right? Are you sure?
Right. Yeah, we should. Maybe.
It is going to be another 5 silver for 2 more bowls.
You're right. We'll keep it at what we have. We won't get a refill.
All right. Will you need rooms while you're in town?
Grab them now or later?
What are the prices on the rooms here?
Oh, not very expensive. Just a silver a night.
With my knowing some of the taverns around here, does that sound like a good deal for around here?
Sounds pretty average.
All right. Yeah, we can. You want separate rooms, Inland, or do you want to?
That's up to you. I paid for lunch. That means you got the rooms, right?
I guess I can. You didn't let me fight that wyvern back on Zendrick, but I'll pay for the rooms, I suppose.
I think that means you owe me an extra room.
I think I could have taken it.
Note to our viewers: no, he couldn't.
We have to. Do you know where this Forge district is?
It's the third level. If you go just a bit down the road, there's a lift that will take you up to the fourth level, and then you can come down a set of stairs about half a mile down the way that will take you right into the Forge district.
I think I got that. Down the road to the lift, fourth level, down the stairs, third into the Forge district, right?
Yes, and you can't miss it. There's a big sign above the stairs that says "Forges this way."
I feel like you're making fun of me,
No,
but okay.
actually, you know, I'm actually due for a break, and I do quite like the Forge district. They have the most wonderful tasting smoke. So let me. I'll be right back. And it floats over to the tavern keeper. Boss, it's time for my break. It's been 7 days. And Drew looks down at the method. Oh yeah. I'll see you in an hour or two. And the method floats back over. I'll just lead you there. I could use a bit of forge smoke, and you know, if you're following a local, it's much faster.
We appreciate that a lot.
Definitely.
I
I've never been
I
led
do-
by smoke before.
I do take tips.
What do you buy with money?
Things to burn.
That's,
Makes
I
sense to
mean,
me.
fair. That's half of what I spend money on.
More smoke to eat.
Can't you? But if okay, I don't think I'm going to understand.
So you take something and you burn it, and then I float over the smoke and I eat the smoke.
Right. So why do you have to buy things to burn and smoke to eat? Can't you just?
But no, you buy the things to eat their smoke.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Resnor's just
But
watching this conversation.
there is this absolute delicacy that I've been saving up to afford. That's a bottle of everlasting smoke. And I hear it'll feed a method for their entire life. I have this one friend who bought one and put it inside themselves, and they're not just a method anymore, they're a full elemental. Full size.
That sounds wonderful.
Yes, it's quite good. And it starts flying up that way, leading you towards the lift.
You ready, bud?
And as
Yep. Resnor will get up and do a big stretch before he takes steps following.
and then we'll go ahead and actually roll the clock back about 20 minutes here. Cola, you've just entered your room and put some of your stuff away. You want to take a look at that note?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I kind of miss my mom already. She really did make my favorite stew, and I'm really frustrated that she told me it's time to like be an adult and go live out on my own. I mean, I am 32 years old, and you know, it's age. I'm aged out, and I'm really offended by it. But yeah, I'll read the note.
You open up this note, and there's actually two pieces of paper wrapped up together in here. One is from your mother, and it says, "My darling Cola, I have a job for you. You're not actually banished from the house, and We need you to infiltrate this company and determine whether or not we should work with them in the future. Your invitation to work there is enclosed here. Love, Mum.
After I finish reading it, I'll say to myself out loud that I probably should stop back by the house and fix the ward that I may be set to explode.
As actually, Zenlin and Resnor, as you reach the 4th level, you hear a very, very small boop as something blows up and is immediately contained by dozens and dozens of other wards.
It wasn't anything too important that I set to blow up. Just the really god-awful bust statue of my mother's favorite halfling opera singer. And I thought it was a perfect way to get back at her.
But yeah, you open the 2nd letter, and I'm sure you, Hooli, can guess what this is going to say. But for Kokola, it reads, Kokola Kundarak, you are formally invited to get in on the ground floor of a brand new trading company, the Brookhaven Trading Company. If you are interested, please meet us on the 3rd floor, or the 3rd level of the city of Sharn, near the Forge District.
The Forge District. I hate going there. It smells of sulfur, but I suppose duty dictates. And I'll take the invitation with me. Like, I'll take that, but I will use the candle or whatever heat source is in the room that I'm in to rid myself of the note from my mother that indicates infiltration.
Wonderful. Yeah, you've definitely got a couple of candles around the room for like nighttime light source, heat, all that. All right, and you begin to make your way up to the 3rd floor. You know your way around this city really well, so you're good. We're going to cut over to the smoke method. I can't wait to taste that wonderful sulfur.
Why don't you just stay here and become an elemental? You wouldn't even need to work anymore.
Well, I can only really eat so much smoke at a time before it starts to, upset my stomach.
Oh, your cousin is special?
No, it's the bottle. It's the bottle itself that's special. It's always forcing more into you, and since it's doing it from the inside, your organs, I suppose, is the closest thing for you all, expand as well.
Interesting. I really must meet your cousin one day. What was his name?
Oh, my cousin, his name is Jane. That's Xane.
I like it.
He lives up in the north. Maybe you'll run into him.
Yeah, I don't know where I'll end up getting, but if I'm ever up there, I'll make sure to look for Jane.
All right, so you are all on your way to the Brookhaven Trading Company. As you arrive, the first to arrive here will be Jillian. Jillian, as you walk up, you see that this trading company, it's not... The building's very nice. The signage is about the same level as your clinic down under is. It's not great. Doesn't look very expensive. Looks like they don't have a ton of money to begin with.
Jillian would think, God, hope I'm gonna get paid. This place kind of doesn't look so great.
All right. And as you head in, you open the front door and see a little tiny gnome sitting at a small desk. Oh, are you here to join the company? Yes, you're Jillian. Jillian, wonderful to meet you. I'm
Nice to
Boar.
meet you. Oh, nice to meet you.
I'm Boar. Yes, I'm the original founder, but hopefully you'll be joining me.
um, tell me about your company. I mean, like, have you I mean, have you had many applicants?
Well, we're invite only. Uh, I specialize in divination myself. So what I did was I cast a spell to bring me the 5 best people for this company, and you're one of them. Isn't that wonderful?
uh, I suppose. I mean, Jillian's wondering, like, how did this person know? I guess they divined I was going to get fired today. So odd. But can you tell me about the job?
Yes. So from the little I know about you, you're a medic, right? You work down in the Undercity.
Yes, I'm a medic.
Yeah. So what our goal is here is to set up our own trade routes separate from the great houses, where we'll be able to work for a lesser price and for better pay. And, well, you know, the great houses aren't exactly known for loving competition, so I thought it might be a good idea to have a medic on staff. Just in
That is
case. You know, and there's, you know, it's just always useful to have someone who can fix people up around. But yeah, I don't want to get too deep into the explanation before the others arrive. They should also be arriving any moment now. You know, I made sure that I'll tell you, it's very interesting. Do you study much? No, you're a medic. You're not a divination or chronology mage, are you? Well, it's very complicated figuring out exactly when you need to send a letter for someone to arrive at a specific time, especially when half of them are on other continents.
Huh.
In fact, for one of your new fellows, I had to send the letter into the past after I wrote it.
You can do that?
It wasn't easy. That was about half of my startup funds right there. But you know, it's important to have the best, and that's who my spell told me was going to be the best.
Huh. Jillian's
And-
mind is just swimming, just trying to understand this. Sending to
go
the
ahead.
past?
Go ahead and give me a perception check there as well, actually.
All right. Nine.
9? Yeah, you
Yes.
see that he mutters something to himself under his breath, but you can't quite make out what it was. Next to arrive will be our dear friend Jolly Porter, just about now.
Okay. Nice digs. Hey, how are you? I got a
Oh.
letter.
Yes, you're Jolly, correct?
Yeah, I am jolly. Yes.
Yes,
Wait,
I
how
wrote
do
on your...
spell you? Yes,
Yes, I
I
rode on your
remember.
train a couple of times. Yes,
Yes,
I'm Bull.
Boar. Yes, you went
Yes,
to. You were going to Dragon's Crown, right? You're doing a little excursion. We did a whistle stop for you.
Yeah. Yes. I had to pick up this ruby there, and it's actually related to why I've got you here now. It's so nice to re-meet you, but meet you
Yes,
in context.
I
This is
remember.
Jillian.
Yes, I remember you liked rabbit. Was that right? We made sure we had
Uh,
rabbit from you.
I'm actually a vegetarian.
Gosh, I was so close. I was so close.
I have a
Oh,
brother.
the carrots? You liked carrots.
I do love carrots. I do love
It's-
carrots.
it's-
I have a brother who only eats meat, and he does love rabbit.
And what's his name?
More.
Love it. I think I remember him. Sorry to
Yes.
get you confused. Very sorry.
Oh,
sir.
it's all right. It happens all the time. I have 9 brothers, and we all look very close to the same. And unfortunately, our parents went with a theme for the names.
I think I remember
Bor,
Tor.
yes, Bor, More, Tor,
Did
Gore,
Did
Lore.
Tor and Gore die in a terrible?
Yes, it was the airship accident. That's why I only travel by rail now.
I'm sorry for your loss. Yes.
It's all right.
No.
I didn't like them much.
Oh.
They stole my airship. They deserved it.
So
Anyways.
I'm sorry. I confused. I assumed your name Boar was for the tunneling. So I'm surprised you have an airship. It's very interesting.
No,
you have a very interesting.
No,
background.
I don't tunnel at all. We'll get more into it in a bit. But yes, if you want to just go have a seat over there, there's coffee, there's a bit of snacks. I've got some cookies that are baking right now in the back, and I'll bring those out shortly. And you and Jillian can get to know each other while I wait for everyone else.
All right. Thank you, Boar.
So yeah, you just head off to the little meeting area, and you do see there's some water here, there's some coffee, and he very quickly brings out a plate of freshly baked sugar cookies. Next to arrive will be Zenlin and Reznor, with your little method leading you up to it. All right, I think this is your stop. It's the only building in this district that isn't actually a forge.
That's quite intriguing. Well,
Seems
thank
like
you.
an odd place to have it.
Well, from what I've heard, the old forge burned down, and when they rebuilt the land underneath it, it wasn't sturdy enough to really put another forge on top, so they put a little bit of an office building here. I actually hadn't heard someone bought it.
Oh, well, we appreciate your help. Here, and Zen will pull out another gold coin and for going above and beyond. And we show this is the right place. It doesn't look like much.
You do see a small sign that says Bruxhaven Trading Company, and it looks like it's a handwritten sign on a piece of wood.
Looks fairly new.
I guess we should go in, yeah?
Yep, no time like the present. Resnor's gonna then turn and try and pat the guide on the back, like compadre. Thanks for showing us around.
Yeah, you go to pat it on the back, and your hand it makes contact, and there's a little bit of resistance, but then it passes right through her.
Reznor will look at his hand and then look back and be like, "We'll work on that next time we see each other."
Oh, here, let me just. And you can see her screw up her face in concentration, and the smoke becomes a little more solid. It should work now.
Reznor's gonna pat her on the back.
You go to pat her on the back, and she floats down to the ground from the force of the pat. She's like, "Oh, that didn't. Okay, well, maybe here a handshake could work." And she reaches out to shake your hand, Zenlin.
Oh. What was your name again? You told me your cousin's name.
Oh, my name? Ari.
Ree?
Ari.
Ari. Okay.
Anyway, so about that tip.
Oh, yes, here. While awkwardly still holding hand, will put the gold in and take his hand off.
Okay. Oh, the whole gold. You're a very generous man.
You're a very helpful method.
Thank you. I pride myself on it. And she flies off, and you can see her sort of hovering over one of the smokestacks down the street. So yeah, you're gonna head on in. Actually, I'm gonna say while you have this interaction, Coca-Cola, you catch up to these two who you saw in the tavern earlier. They appear like you just saw one of the waitresses fly off from talking to them as they're looking at the door to the building you're heading towards.
Interesting. Very interesting. I like interesting things, you see, because even though I'm not that kind of rogue, I am still a rogue of the inquisitive mind, even. So I like to know things, and I like to see things, and I like to take note of interesting situations. So it's interesting to me that the tavern that I choose to stay in also houses or had people there at the same time as me that were heading to the same place as me. I don't know if the stars just aligned the right way or what, but I do have a keen eye for detail to see if there are any hidden or particularly interesting details that I could pick up about the two individuals that I saw and are now also here.
Yeah. Is there anything? Actually, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Perception. I'm good at that. Kind of. I got an 18.
An 18? Zenlin or Reznor, is there any details about yourself that you try to keep hidden?
I think with something like that, it's probably pretty easy to tell that Zenlin's robes seem like 2 or 3 sizes too big for him. Like they hang very loosely. And with that, like, it's not necessarily that he's hiding what he is so much as he's hiding from the sun. So you could probably get a glimpse and figure out he's some kind of elf, and he has like a very pale lilac skin color.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you actually, from some of your work in the past, would recognize that an elf with that sort of skin tone is typically a dark elf from underneath the earth. Reznor, anything you try to hide about yourself?
No, Reznor's pretty open. Doesn't really hide anything.
Yeah, so looking at these two, you're able to pick up that Reznor is probably, honestly, just you can pick up that he's a shifter in his more humanoid form. And then Zenlin is covering themselves from the sun in clothes that are much too large, and is definitely elven, probably from the underground.
Okay. Well, I mean, as long as I'm not picking up on the fact that they're like following me or anything, you know.
No, yeah, I mean, if anything, you followed them.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's fair. But sometimes when I'm following people, I like to get to where they're going before they do so that they don't see me following them.
Yeah. Actually, go ahead. Just give me, what's your passive stealth, Coca-Cola?
Oh, I don't know what my passive stealth is, but I can give you a stealth. I got a +7 to my modifier, if that helps.
Yep, that's a 10 then.
Wow.
Or, I mean, not a 10. 10 plus 7 would be a 17. Sorry.
All right, so there you go, 17. Better than my roll. Thank you.
Zenlin or Reznor, do you have passive perceptions that beat that? Or would you like to make a perception check?
I do not.
Zenlin will try to roll, but he has disadvantage.
Oh, yeah, because of the sun.
And it's a 7. So yeah, no, Zenlin doesn't notice.
Yeah. So yeah,
And
neither of them
20.
seems to even know that you're there.
Good, just the way I like it.
I'm telling you, Zenlin, Werven Slayer for a potential job just sounds way better going in.
I don't think that sounds as impressive as you think it does. Like, it sounds very close to Vermin Slayer.
Ah.
All right.
You can certainly introduce yourself that way, though.
Are you guys heading in?
Yeah, Reznor will probably start heading in.
Coca-Cola, you're hanging back a bit, it seems like.
Yeah, I don't want to arrive at the same time that they do and look sus or anything like that. But few minutes, you know.
Yeah.
Fashionably late. That is correct.
You find a little bench on the side of the road here where you're able to sit down and just, chill for a bit while they head in. You still got line of sight to the door so you can keep an eye on things. And Zenlin and Reznor, you head in. And you see that little gnome at the front desk. Oh, hello. I know you're Zenlin. And then you must be Reznor.
The one and only.
How exactly did you know it was us?
Well, I sent you the letters.
I feel like that just makes more questions.
Okay, I gave the explanation to Jillian over there earlier, but so I made a divination spell specifically to find the people who would be best to aid me in this endeavor,
And
it popped up with your names. And actually, I had to send your letters into the past because, well, for you to get here in time, you had to get them a couple of months ago.
Are you sure your spell did its job? I'm not sure I'm really the best for anything.
I don't question my magics when they work.
Okay.
You don't look a gift wyvern in the mouth. Mostly because it'll bite your head off, but magic's the same way.
You see, that's why I didn't let you go fight it. I like your head.
But he mentioned wyverns. If I had shown up after slaying one, they would be much more impressed.
I mean, it'd be impressive, but dead is much less impressive than alive.
Thank you.
So
So I guess we'll go by the others?
Yeah, if you want to go sit down, we're only waiting on one more, and then we'll be getting started.
Zenlin will walk over by the others and pull his hood up higher.
Reznor will walk by the others and kind of just look over them and give a big grin and kind of wave a little bit.
Oh, You know what? Let me go. I'm going to run to the back quick, and I'm going to grab my assistant so that he can help take care of you. All right? And he runs back. Coca-Cola, about 5 or 10 minutes pass. Are you heading in?
Yes. I'm asking you a question there.
Yeah, it's tobacco.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I'll have been sitting on my bench playing it cool. I don't have a really good charisma modifier, but it doesn't make me not cocky because I'm just, I'm Kakola Kundarak. It's my job to be cocky. So I'll go up to the door and it'll open, and I'll still have my tobacco before I completely close the door, and I'll just do one of those fancy cowboy finger flicks when I come in with it. Have my hands tucked in my pockets and my swagger on. And stroll on into the desk.
Yeah, you stroll on in. There's nobody at the desk currently, actually. But about 5 seconds after after about 5 seconds of waiting, a door behind the desk opens, and you see this little gnome rush up and hop up on a stool behind the desk. Kakola Kundarak, yes? And you see walking behind him is a large, built Warforged.
Yes.
Grin, go help the others. I'm meeting with Kakola. It's such a pleasure to have you. When it spit your name out, I actually didn't know if you'd be coming. Because, well, you're Kundarak. You're one of the great houses. And we're not.
Yeah, well, it comes a time in every little dwarf's life when their mother puts a boot in their ass and says, go out on your own. So, hi, how you doing? Here I am out on my own. See?
Oh goodness. You just got kicked out?
I mean, put a boot in your ass is kind of, I guess it must be a house saying, euphemism.
Oh, okay. So not literally kicked out. Wonderful. That's good. But so, all right. I hate to ask this of you, but so you're not formally associated with House Kundarak in any way but name anymore? Because we're an independent operation, and we'd like to keep it that way. We don't want to be absorbed, and we don't,
Oh, no, I'm definitely not, aside from being named that.
All right, go ahead and give me a deception with advantage, because this guy wants to believe you.
Yeah, I have a negative charisma modifier, so let's do this.
It's all right. This guy's got a negative wisdom to see if you're.
Oh, boy, I got an 8. Oh.
That's all right. Here.
What do we got?
See, is that showing up?
No, green eats it.
It's a 2.
It's a 2.
That's a 2.
Even better.
Yeah, it's a 2.
The dice gods do love me.
All right. When the dice gods show up to tell the story that we want, it helps.
It helps. Yeah.
Wonderful. I think we're all here now. Grin, you've been taking good care of them? Great. Wonderful. Just go wait in the corner, and the Warforged walks away from the 4 of you. He walked up to you, looked at all of you, didn't say anything, and just sort of stood there staring at you. Walks into the corner and stands there, continuing to stare at you. As Boar leads Kakola over to this little meeting area you're all in. All right. Well, it's a pleasure to see you all gathered here. I'm so glad you were all able to make it. It sounds like the circumstance be the best for all of you, but they're going to get better. I can promise you that. So, here at the Bruxhaven Trading Company, of which I hope you all choose to become members very quickly, our first goal is going to be to lay down our own rails crossing the country. We want to be able to make the quickest deliveries. That way we can, continue to profit with the oppression of the great houses looming over our heads. No offense, Coca-Cola. Or Jillian, but, I'm sure you actually understand, having worked in the Undercity. But yes, we want to do trade. Eventually, I'd like to open up a bank. Get a little independent banking, but, that's not necessary yet. We can talk about that as a group once you're all signed on. No need to worry there that you're going to compete with anybody, any family or friends. But yeah. So let's get right onto the pertinent information. Grin, could you bring out the unit they'll be using? And Grin reaches down underneath the table you're sitting around, picks up a big crate and slams it down on top of the table. Who wants to open the gift?
I'll open the gift. I like gifts. Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, go ahead and open it.
One of those gifts that explodes on you when you open it, is
I
it?
will check for traps.
Sure, go ahead and give me an investigation.
Okay, there's a little investigation. Looks fine to me. I think it's completely fine. Yeah, I will use the sleight of hand to quickly open it.
All right.
So that's a 6 on the old investigation. Looks totally fine.
Yeah,
Doesn't
looks
trap
completely
at all.
good.
And a 16 on the sleight of hand.
All right, 16 on the sleight of hand. Yeah, you're able to. It looks like just a crate, and you're able to. There's no markings or anything on it, but you're able to pop the lid off pretty easily. And you look inside, and you see a little machine made of steel and wood, about 1.5 feet high by about 3 feet wide, with 2 golden eyes set into the front, and a little neck that extends up to lift a head up. As it peers up at you, you hear, "Boop-beep,
I look over at
boop, boop, boop."
I look at Zenlin. It's I read people, and Zenlin, I feel like you would know what this is more than me. Probably more than any of us.
Okay, Zenlin will take a step forward and peer in curiously.
Yeah, you see this machine that was described, and actually, anybody who wants to can take a look at it and give me investigation, perception, or knowledge arcana.
We'll do Arcana, because I can do that normally.
You're not in
19.
you're not in bright sunlight right now. You can do it.
Oh, that's fair. We'll go with the Arcana. That's a good roll.
Okay, 19.
Yeah.
All right. You are able to tell that this is a construct of some sort, animated in a very similar way to Warforged.
Interesting. It's almost like him. Pointing to Grin.
Yeah, well, Grin actually made it. Yeah, he's quite the inventor.
This is fantastic work, Grin. You should be very proud.
Yeah. So you know what it does, of course, right, Joey?
No, I don't.
Oh, it's a rail layer. You'll be able to. So what we're gonna have you do first to get the company up and running is I'd like all of you to head out and mark a path across the continent from Shan up through the Mournland, where none of the lightning rails pass yet, so that we can get up to the northeast much quicker than any of the great houses. And that'll be our specialty first, is deliveries going straight through the Mournland. And Grin assures me that this little guy will be able to follow markers that you lay on your journey to lay rails behind you. So you'll travel with him each night, you'll lay the markers as you go, and then while you rest, he'll go back over them, lay the rails, and then use the rails to catch back up to you before you
Genius.
awake.
Genius. Above my head, but genius.
I mean, it
Yes.
sounds simple enough.
Sounds genius.
Wait, we're gonna go through the Mournlands?
I mean, that's the hope. It'd be
How will we survive in the Mournlands?
grit and determination.
You'll have to forgive me. I'm not from here. What exactly are the Mournlands?
So there was a war a while back, and during that war, there was a very big arcane explosion.
Okay, I understand all that. That's pretty par for the course, normal.
And after that explosion kind of wrecked an entire segment of the continent, we started calling it the Mournland. Because there's a lot of things there that died and will cause things to die.
Oh, so it's kind of like Kaiba.
Yes. Well, you're from Zendrick. It's like Zendrick if the biggest thing that you had to worry about was Warforged that wanted to kill you instead of beasts. And there's not a forest, there's deserts.
Okay.
Now, I've always done some traveling, on my vacations. I used to get a lot of time off, and I've always had this theory that if we could cut through, there are some shortcuts to make this a faster route than going all the way to Rote. And then the Star Lascoot. There's another path. Can we take it alternate paths?
I mean, if you've got a path that'll work better, then I'd love that. I'm not much of a cartographer or a map maker myself. I just know, going through the Mournlands, the straight line between here and the northwest. So that's why it was my idea. But if you've got another path, that's why I want you on board, Jolly. You're the expert.
Yeah, I think we can get... Now, is there a city in the Mournlands that we're trying to get to?
Well, I mean, if you all manage to get the Lord of Blades to give you passage, that'd be good money.
That's going through, you mean?
Yeah, if you manage to get him to give you safe passage and offers of trade, that'd be a lot of money. That'd be a lot of money. Because that'd be all the riches of the Mournland before it blew up that we now have available to trade for.
Now, I know we have lightning rail to Vatharond, and then on the other side, in the Talenta Plains, there's another lightning rail. Are you asking us to connect these or completely make a separate thing?
So I want a brand new rail that's not owned by the great houses because, well, if they forbid us to use it, then we're kind of fucked.
Yes. I have some
And,
ideas.
Yeah.
Very
So,
excited.
so you're on board then, Jolly?
I'm on board. What do I have to lose? I don't have a pension. Might as well just go for it or
You don't-
die.
You don't have a... I
I'm
thought...
still They
I thought
stole
they would
me
have let you take an early retirement at least
2 months.
for the job. You
2
quit.
months.
You just quit.
They fired me. 2 months.
They fired. Well, I mean, I
Very
suppose it's
convenient. Don't you think?
yeah,
Very convenient. 2 months left. You steal my retirement from me?
I think about it this way. Very convenient that you got fired when you needed a new job.
Now, I assume this pays into the Lightning Rail retirement program. Is that part of this? Can I get my 2 months here?
You know, I hadn't thought about it. Let me reach out and check. But I guarantee you this: you will be able to retire within a year at most if this job gets done. Never have to work again.
I'm in. Damn it, I'm in.
Say, Boar, was it?
Yeah. Yeah, what's
Yeah,
up, Coco?
This lightning rail thing you got going on sounds really fantastic and really exciting, and I really hope you succeed in doing all of that. But I'm not sure what about my particular skill set made you believe that I was going to want to be somebody to build a railway. I think you got me
Well,
confused.
That's I second that.
well, it's more about keeping everyone who's going on the trip alive. Well, I've already gotten a few threats, if I'm being honest.
Aha,
If I'm being
yes.
fully honest.
I see. That sounds terrible. I'm really sorry you're experiencing that. But
Yeah. And I'd like to pay you, even if you don't want to become an owner-operator, I'll pay you to ward the railway so that only my trains can use it.
Weren't
You'll
you
pay
just
me.
complaining about the houses and them not letting people use their railway?
Well, yeah, but I'm building this one, so only I should be able to use it. And
That's-
then, once we're established, we'll be able to open it up to more people. But in the meantime, we don't want the houses hopping on our rail and sending people up to come and kill you while you're laying it down, do we?
I mean, no. But it sounds like you want to do something very similar to what they're doing.
Well, I mean, it's all trade. It's just that my trade is free trade, and theirs is controlled.
Right, yours is free trade that has to go through you, so it is also controlled.
Well, we can talk about this more. We can remove the wards perhaps after the rail's fully set up. You know, you're all going to own the company as well. We can discuss amongst ourselves, come to a deal.
Warding the tracks while they're being built could be helpful. And you're willing to pay me a quite handsome sum, I'm sure, because these kind of skills just don't come to everybody. It's a house Kundarak thing. I mean, I know you're just not about the houses and stuff, but I can't really help it where I was born. I didn't ask to be born. I just was.
No, I get it. You know, I didn't, All right. This doesn't leave this room, all right?
Yeah, sure.
I didn't ask to be born into a great house either.
Oh, you were born into a great house also?
It's a possibility.
It is a possibility, you say.
And he tugs his sleeve up a little bit, and you can see just the edge of a dragon mark.
Which one?
Go ahead and give me a intelligence, knowledge arcana.
Oh, Arcana. Ooh, that's not my jam, Chipper.
Sucks.
I'll give you that nat 20, though. You can have it. Show me.
Yeah, it's a mark of scribing.
Oh, a mark of scribing, which I'll have to look up which house that's associated with.
All right.
Well, I'll say, since you showed me yours, I suppose it's proper etiquette that I show you mine too, right?
I mean, I've seen a warding mark before.
No, but you haven't seen this one.
All right. Yes.
Okay, all right. You don't have to, be shocked at how big it is. I know it's larger than average, but it's not about the size. It's about the quality.
I mean, let's be fair. With dragon marks, the size is the quality.
You know, you got a damn good point there, Boar. I think you and I are going to be friends once this railway building business is over with. And she'll just flip her wrist over and slide up her jacket, and you just big, giant, jolly size mark there. Well, not Jolly, our friend Jolly, but
Yeah.
biggin. It's a big mate.
It's Paul Bunyan sized.
Yes, that.
So, Kokola, you're in. It sounds like. Reznor and Zenle. Oh, well, I should tell you all what the pay is. If you just want to come on as a contractor, I'm prepared to offer you 200 platinum each. One quarter at the start of the job, the rest at the end.
I'm in.
I feel like you're only telling us half the story. I mean, Yoletta said something about being an owner.
Well, yeah, that's why I said if you just want to come on as a contractor, you get that pay. If you want to be an owner, you get an equal cut of profits once we're up and running, and I'll give you a bit of coin to, get us through the getting up and running part.
I suppose being part of a cross-continental railway system company wouldn't hurt with what I want to do.
No, well, I mean, if there's something you want specifically, I could. I'm open to other forms of payment.
I'm not sure you can help me.
You're not sure I can't, though.
I'm pretty sure.
All right, fair enough. Then yeah, you on board then? Owner or contractor, Zendin? Actually, why don't we all take a night to sleep on it? I'll meet you back here at noon. I'll have a nice little lunch spread. Some sandwiches, some fruits, maybe a couple of pastries.
Reznor picks up at the sound of all that food. He's been staring intently at the small warforge this entire time, just awestruck by it.
Beep, 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 beep. It stares back at you and slowly trundles across the table towards you. Beep.
Oh. Reznor picks it up and holds it.
Beep, 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 beep. It's flailing
quickly
its
puts
little
it down.
tracks around trying to get down. Beep.
Well, I heard there's talk of threats and all that, so I'm in.
Somehow I thought that would scare people away. Not bring them on board. But, it works. All right.
Not Reznor Wyvern Slayer.
At the sound of Wyvern.
Wyvern? Wait. I thought you didn't let him fight the Wyvern. I thought you said that earlier. Was there another Wyvern?
Yes. There were about 3 of them, actually. I stopped him from going after the last one after he had taken the other 2 out.
Give me a deception.
I am good at this. Oh, I'm not apparently. I thought I had
I was about to say-
proficiency.
Reznor at first will look very confused, and then he'll kind of puff his chest out and look.
I think
Take the help
I-
action from Reznor's puffing, at least.
Sure, we'll go for the nat 20. Nope. It's a 23, not a 22.
That doesn't matter. This guy, my dice hate me tonight. That's a 4. So yeah, he fully believes you. You slew 2 wyverns at the same time. My goodness, that spell really did work.
I have two hands for a reason.
Say, Boars, you don't mind putting this all in writing for us, right? You know, fancy little script at the top that says such and such is a part of this thing. You
Yes,
know,
of
in
course.
case we come across any
Do you
choose in the future or such, you know.
so you want to sign on today? You don't want a night to sleep on it?
I mean, I am a firm believer of the old House Kundarak adage, YOLO.
I'm in. Let's go for the big
Champions in?
prize. I want to be an
Cool.
owner.
Jolly's in. Zenlin, you're the only one who hasn't said you're in. Your friend Reznor's in.
I feel like I said why not.
Oh, I missed that. My bad. Then yes. And he pulls a piece of paper out, lays his hand on it, and within about 6 seconds, the entire paper is filled with beautiful calligraphy stating that the undersigned are now equal owners of the Bruxhaven Trading Company.
Equal owners, not equal liability. Please adjust.
Oh, you won't? Okay.
If anything bad happens, I don't want my name attached to it, but when the good shit happens, I do. That's what I want the paperwork to say.
Put my name on it, good or bad. I'm in.
You're in. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
I think, Coca-Cola, it's only fair that if something bad does happen, then I mean, it is a company. The company's the one that takes the blame, not you. You won't be charged with anything. We're incorporated.
Okay, I suppose. And from this point out, I'm going to go by a different name than Kundarak. I'm going to go by Goldfinger from now on.
All right. Coca-Cola Goldfinger. Wonderful. You know what? I think... and he starts rummaging through his desk. Yeah. And he plops a name change form down in front of you. I wrote that up back when I was still with my house. You can you fill it out and you're good.
You know
Fill
what?
it
That's a
out.
great idea.
Fill it out,
You know-
turn it into just turn it into the authorities here in Sean, and it'll be official.
Yeah, good. Sounds great. I'll roll it up and I'll stick it in my jacket for a rainy day.
Yeah, okay. Wonderful. So if you'd sign,
Sure.
and he holds the contract out towards all of you.
Zenlin will sign.
Zenlin, you first. All right. And he gives it to you, Zenlin. Just pass it around.
Hands it to Reznor.
Reznor will sign his name, but it's gonna be really badly signed, and then he'll pass it to Jolly.
It's like a little kid doing block letters.
Exactly.
And the R is backwards.
The R's back. Both R's are backwards.
You know, when we get this operation up and running, I'm going to go find my buddy, the Elemental. I'm going to recruit him to run our train.
Yes.
Wait, you have an elemental that you might be able to recruit already?
Oh,
That's been one of my sticking points.
oh, don't you worry. My crew, oh yeah. Don't you worry about that. Let's
Yeah,
get this thing going.
once we've got the rail set, I'll hire your entire. Well, we can hire your entire old crew.
Hmm.
Isn't that
I mean,
going to draw the attention of the houses that you don't want to come after you right away?
once we're already up and running, I could give a damn what the houses think.
Let 'em
People will
know.
people will see how good we are, and they'll throw a fit if the houses try to stop us. Doesn't matter if they control the courts when we can control the court of public opinion, right? Right?
Right. Absolutely. We'll get them to. We'll get those other crews to walk off the job and just come to work for us, and then how are they going to do anything?
All right. So as this paper goes around and you all sign it, with the last signature, it flashes a bright gold. All of the black ink you signed in is now a shimmering gold, rolls itself up, and poofs into the aether. Each of you does have a copy left in front of you, though. And that is where we're going to go ahead and close our session for tonight. All right. I've been your GM Chipper. I've had a wonderful evening playing with you all, and we're going to go ahead and go around the table. Let everyone know if you've got any projects going on or anything you want to share and who you are. Let's go just to my right here and start with Huli.
Actually, Chip, I'd prefer to wrap it up at the end so I can do all of the sign-off nonsense.
All right,
That's
no worries. In that case, we'll start in our bottom right corner with Reznor.
I'm Reznor Greyback. Also can call me Duke. And I'm also part of the Monday night session with Grim Hollow and some of our fellow players here.
You are.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring it over to the left with Jason.
I'd like to say rest in peace, Sinead O'Connor, one of the most ferocious truth tellers in history. I could go on, but I will say that Sinead O'Connor inspired one of my favorite NPCs of all time. She was the inspiration for that person. So rest in peace, Sinead. You were right about everything, and the entire world turned on you, and you never backed down. So good on you.
All right, let's bring it on over to Shen.
And I am Shen. I'm playing Jillian tonight, and I'm just here on Heroes and Hooligans. And yeah.
All right. On up to Dawn here.
I am Don. I play Brill in our Monday night Grim Hollow campaign here. I also DM a Wild Beyond the Witchlight campaign over at New Platinum Content. About once a month on a Sunday we play. Other than that, you can find me here on Mondays and Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and last but certainly not least, Huli.
Hi, friends. I'm Huli. I play games, run games, and produce games here at Heroes and Hooligans, and I am also the production manager over at Queen's Court Games, which has some pretty interesting things coming up if you want to go over there and check them out. New Jersey Web Fest is coming up in September. They are, again, nominated to win another award this year, not only in New Jersey, but at other places as well. As far as Heroes and Hooligans business, we have our Monday night Grim Hollow game, 7:30 Central. What is that? 8:30 Eastern. And then our Thursday night here with Chipper, our Eberron game, 6:30. So we'll see everybody back next week on Monday. Please come and check us out on Monday. And if not, we'll see you Thursday. We're going to run a raid out over to our friends over at Mistress Winter's Court, where they are launching a brand new show of Monster Hearts tonight as well. And we hope everybody had a great evening. And on that note, pushing fancy buttons, and we're going to go hasta la bye-bye. So
Bye.
Hasta la bye-bye.
Yep, whenever Twitch lets me push Twitch buttons, and then I'll do that. Huzzah.